This is a short video on the new printing features in SpatialXL. SpatialXL lets you define any number of print templates which are saved within your workbook. You can see the print templates here in the little print templates pane at the bottom here. If it's not visible, you can go into the view menu on the top here and you click on print templates and it will display it for you. Here it will show you the list of templates that you've created. Now, in this workbook here, there's 2 templates created, and you can either show the template by clicking on the print preview on it. You can create a new template by clicking on the new template button. You can design the selected template by clicking the design button, and you can delete a template if you don't want to use it anymore. So I'm going to start from scratch here, so I'll first of all delete these 2 templates. It's going to warn me for each one I select. Delete them both. Okay, so I've got no templates here. I'm going to start off with a new template. So I've got a map here which has got some points displayed and some background map information. To create a new print template, I just click New Template. I give it a name. I'll call this one Landscape because we'll do a landscape print. Now we can choose the printer we want to print to, and it looks for all the printers that are on your system. However, typically, if you're not connected to a A0 capable printer, you won't be able to design an A0 print, but you might want to. To do that, we've got the generic option on the top, which lets you choose any page size you like. So I'm going to choose that one. Now I must choose the page size, and here all the page sizes available. Basically, all these CAD sizes and so on, the Bs and the As and so on. So we'll choose A0, and we want it to be landscape, so we'll choose the landscape orientation, and you click OK. That brings up the print template designer, and because we're on A0, you don't see very much of the layout, but we can zoom in or zoom out. So I'm going to zoom out right the way out. There we go, and I'll just maximize it to the side. And there we go, we can see our layout, or most of it. Okay. Now what we might want to do here is, as you see, when we chose to make a new layout, it automatically put a scene in for me, and it made it fill the whole page, except for the margins on the left and the right, as you can see. There we go, and it filled the whole page. Now that's too far zoomed out for me. I'd like to choose it to be zoomed in a bit more. So I can right click on it and go into its properties. And it's scene 1, so we can just choose the zoom for it. It takes a zoom from the current scene in SpatialXL, but we might want a different zoom. So I want to go to 2 million. Okay, so I'm going to make it 1 in 2 million. There we go, that fills up our area much better. There we go. Okay, good. So now we can place various items on our print layout here. First thing, let's put a north arrow. So I choose the north arrow tool on the top here. And I'll draw where I want my north arrow to be. And there's my north arrow. If I want a different style of north arrow, I can go into the properties on the right here, and you'll see there's actually 2 options for the north arrow. You can specify an image, which would be a bitmap or something, or a meta file, but they don't scale so very well if you're printing on A0. The other option is to choose a symbol which uses a font, which we've got a built-in north arrow font. And you can just click on that, and you can choose from a whole series of north arrows here. You can browse whatever one you'd like. Anyway, I'll leave the current one because I'm happy with it. It's our north arrow done. Next thing you can do, we can put in a legend. So to put in a legend, you click on the legend option here. You can just drag where you want to put your legend. I'll put my legend there. There's the legend. It puts in the legend what you specified should be in the legend in your layer control. You can also edit some of the features of the legend, but now we zoomed very far out because this is A0, so we can actually edit some legend features here. For example, you can change its background color, the border color, the font for the items. You can make it bigger or smaller. You can choose some more styling for it here. The title, you can change it. Maybe we want to change this to say, for example, PLM report, and so on. You can choose the indent of each item and so on. Obviously, to look at what we've done, we can just zoom in a bit there, which I'll do now. Just move to it. There we zoomed into the legend. Look, we changed our title and so on. So you can change various things. You can even change the title font to be something a bit bigger if you wanted. So you want it to be 18. There you go, it's made it bigger. And so on, that's handling the legend. Let's zoom out back now to see our overall picture. There we go. And we can put in a scale bar. Just choose scale bar down here. Drag it in. There's our scale bar. Obviously it's tiny because we zoomed far out. You can also choose its color, the thickness of the bar, how wide you want the bar. So that bar there, we want to make it a lot wider because we're doing A0, so I'll make it 300. Or maybe let's make it a bit less, say 150 millimeters wide. We can do that. There you can see it's made it wider. Next, we might want to drag in some pictures. So what we'll do here, an easy way to put images, you can either choose the picture box option here and drag in a picture box, put a picture box in, but the quicker way is to actually just drag in pictures from your Windows Explorer. So say we want this particular logo on it, we can drag it here. There's our logo. Just move it down to where we want it. And so on with other pictures, you just drag them in. So we want the this particular logo, put that in. There we go. And put it where you want. There you go. That's all done now at A0. What I'm going to do is let's just maximize this. Good, just to get a good picture of it. There we go. Here's our A0 printout. Now what we can do, let's go into print preview and just see how it looks in print preview mode. There we go, it's zoomed out. As you can see now, look at the quality, it keeps the quality. This is 1:1. You can zoom around it. Notice there's good quality in our north arrow. There we go. Going down to the bottom, there's our scale bar, there's our icons and so on. We can also zoom this out to get an overall picture quickly. And there we go. Here's an overall picture of our printout. Now this you can actually export straight away to a PDF file. And you can specify image quality and so on. You can even put a password on it if you want. And it'll just generate a PDF for you straight away. Okay, we won't do that now, but that's what you can do. Go back to the designer, do whatever else I want to do here. If you want to edit anything, you can click on it. Its properties appear here, you can change it. Also on the right, when you display your property grid, you get a report explorer and it shows you all the items on this printout report. So it shows you the scene, there's our north arrow, there's our scale bar, there's the legend, there's the first picture, and there's the second picture. We've also got some more advanced items we could put onto our onto our print layout here. You can put in, if you want to put in, for example, say some text. You can put a big, or rich text, any text. I'll just draw a place here to put text. There we go. It's created it. Now I can click on this little thing here and I can actually load a file into here with some text information. There we go. I've loaded the text file into there. It'll print out as much of it as it can fit in the final printout. So if we go into print preview now, you'll see there it is, it's printed it all out down below there. And we can zoom in to see what it looks like. There you go. So you literally could put in any free text with annotations, images onto your print layout. Okay, let's go back to designer mode. Now when I'm finished, I've designed my print layout here. I can just close it. Put it back into our spreadsheet, and here is our template. I see I misspelled the landscape, so I can just change its name. There we go. If I now want to view this particular template, I just click here on the design template option, brings the template up again. I'll maximize it, and there we can see all our work is there, and so on. And if I'm finished again, I can just close it. Now when I save this workbook, this print template will be saved with the workbook. If I publish this workbook to our spatial reader, this print template will be available as well in the spatial reader, but you won't be able to design it, you'll only be able to view it and print from it. To view and print from it, you just click over here, and it just brings you up in print preview mode. There you go. And you can automatically look at your print layout, and if you're happy, you can actually print it. Okay, so that's a short introduction to our printing.